Okay, so what happened? So on Thursday this week, yesterday, it's Friday today, we went to the dyno and we were hoping to make some good numbers on a car. But did we? No, we certainly did not, okay? So we got on the dyno, we got it up to temperature, checking the air fires and all that, everything was going good. It was a dream, okay? It got up to 3,500 revs, the car was running a treat. So in a nutshell, what happened was that I was just observing, looking around. James has the headphones on, like the noise things, because obviously like it's really noisy in a dyno cell, and it was going for a while, and I said stop a minute aside, because I could smell burning rubber and there's a bit of like rubber coming off the tyres. Guy who's dyno as he sounds, he said, look, you've got hard tyres in budget. He said they're not completely warmed up. He said there will be a little bit of slip. He explained how a dyno works. I was like, sound. I was hearing a bit of noise on a dyno, being like up there. I was like, oh, is it this? Is it that? It's a bit like tick, 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 tick. And that was the dyno itself. Maybe it's an unbalanced wheel or something. I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm not going to pretend I know. But I nipped out for a pee. They'd had the car turned off. I went back in and I was like, boys, they're like, Dan, you wouldn't have been happy if you heard what we just heard. I was like, don't wind me up, boys. You know I don't need this, like, I'm stressed. And basically, they started up and it was a bit happy, like top end. And when you give it a rev, it kind of went drop back down. So I was like, fuck, tamp in. So we checked the oil. Oil seemed okay, but we put a bit more in. Oil was clean, obviously, on the dipstick. It's so hard to tell, to read it. And then what happened was, start up, they were still doing it. So you're like, sticky lifter. Everybody then has got a head into it, and they were like, it's a lifter, it's this, it's that, a rocker arm. You know, the car doesn't have rocker arms. So I'm like, look, let's just take rocker off and let's check. We had a look. And they look okay. We disconnected the injectors, we turned the car, so the cam lobes are differently, so we could see every tap bit. And per fuel gauging, there was no like, all clearance was the same. There is no issue with that. So we called it a day. The boys had the a stethoscope on it. They had a good look. Sounding top endy, then it's on bottom endy, and they think it's like between 1 and 2. So that's where we are. Hard recovery home. The real frustrating thing was, well, the car was driving like a dream, okay? So we'd done a good bit of miles in it. All right, we hadn't done 1,000 miles, all that kind of stuff, but I was in like 200 miles probably. And the car had minimal little sends and stuff like that. It was still running less than 10 psi, okay? I think 8 psi offload on creep back. And there's a little video over here, okay? And the car was running well. Have a look. You've seen that, okay? The car in the morning was perfect. It wasn't a single noise on the engine. It was great. So let's leave us where we are today. I've pulled the plugs out. Very difficult to see, but let's have a look, okay? See if you can see. We'll focus. Hold on. Yeah, that's not focusing at all. Hold on. Okay, so that's plug 1. And they're all pretty much the same before after. So there's no pitting on any of them, there's no damage on the electrodes, they're not running rich, they're not running lean. They're a good set of plugs. I'll overlay a picture of what good plugs look like, just so you know, okay? So these are good plugs. I've put an endoscope down the bores. I've had a good look, okay? I did panic at once, thinking like, oh my god, one of the cylinders' edges chipped on the piston. But it wasn't, it's just a bit of a dirty deposit. You know, it's like the glaze of the walls of the bores were just matching it, so it looks exactly the same. Anyway, I'll put a little bit of a clip up now as I'm talking, just so you can have a look at the bores and stuff like that. There's no dent marks on it, there's no damage, there's no dropped valves, there's no scoring on the pistons or anything, which is good, which gives me confidence in the build, okay? Which makes me think the block is okay, and the top end's good. So yeah, so far so good. And I want you to cross your fingers for me. I had a bit of blowback, okay, full boost, so on one of it. So I'm going to take this off now and have a look. And then we'll go from here with, well, the situation with this. Let's take a look, shall we? Okay, so That's good. So that's a capture can. So don't forget, it will look like that because there's literally vapour of oil and then condensation. There's hardly anything in that. Look, so you can see the height. And don't forget, that's done a lot of miles. So it's not really, well, it's not, give me confidence, it's not blowing oil past the pistons. I'm going to drain this out now and see if there's anything else in here. Okay, so this is what's come out of it. So that's just water, condensation, and a little bit of oil vapour. And just to show you the size in comparison of the size of this tray, it's tiny. So it's really shallow. Again, that's a good sign, and it doesn't seem to be anything in there either. Just past the bores. So again, I've tried to clean this out a little bit. I'll wipe with a rag. But yeah, there was hardly anything in there. Shame I've chipped the paint, getting it off, but do you know what? It can't be seen anyway. So if this can get cleaned out, get back on a car. So in context, just to explain how that works, okay? So you have this, which is on top of a rocker. You have where the PC valve would have been before at the end of the engine, which breathes the crank. The other one, obviously, on the top of the engine, breathes, obviously, the rocker. So if anything passes the cylinders, it breathes, it will come out into the catch can. If anything is breathing from the crankcase, it will come out from the one where the PCV valve was. On an engine at the factory, the PCV valve is connected to the inlet manifold, and obviously on and off loader opens and closes, and it just recirculates. So that is nothing to worry about, and that gives me great confidence. Yeah, that can go back now in the car.
Hours later.
Okay, so a few things. The plugs just now have come back out of the car, and you can see they're a bit fouled. So it was a bit lumpy and it was running rich. I only had 530 in it just to turn it over so I could share the noise. I'm going to quickly do a compression test now in the car. Okay, so we're going to do a quick compression test on cylinder 1. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay, so that's just below 150, yeah? All agree? On to the next. Number 2. Let's have a look, shall we? In real life time. So I'm sure you're getting bored of this already. Spot on. Cylinder 2. Yep, same. Again, in real time. Cylinder number 3. So actually, if I can find the ignition. Let's have a look again. Come on. Be good, be good, be good. Be good, be good. That's absolutely phenomenal. We've got the same across all 3 so far. Yeah, number 3, as you can see, it's in number 3. Okay, minus the lightsaber on the head, onto the last cylinder. Oh, come on. Make or break if we've got a bent valve, is there? So look. Nope. Perfect. Well, that rules that out. Okay, so we have ruled out, I'd like to think, bent valves, because it's only tappy at the top. So it's not a stuck valve, because we got the same compression across all cylinders. When you're turning the engine over, obviously cranking it, we're not getting the knock, which again could be because it's not under compression, it's not banging a rod. Obviously then knocking a bearing. So yeah, so we've done these little tests up till now. You can hear the engine. I've done a little sample of that for you. I had to do it for sanity, for peace of mind, because obviously when I was going to take the plugs out, I thought one was loose, but then went onto the door, and then I came back and I was halfway through it, and I was like, was it loose, was it tight? I played in my mind because that tapping could have been a loose plug. It does happen. It's just been optimistic. I've tightened the crank. Well, I've checked the span check, I've checked all the pulleys, I've checked the alternator, I've checked the auxiliary belt and all that kind of stuff. So there's nothing loose, which you could have thought there was that. You can hear it from the video, it's definitely not that now. So yeah, sounds like big end bearings maybe, I don't know, who knows, we'll soon see. We'll get this sump off and move on to the next part. Okay, so that is the expensive paperweight back in the garage. So I'm not really sure where I am right now in this video because there's little bits of clips from here and there. It's Saturday today, so it's 2 days after destruction. So yeah, we've whipped the head, there's a rocker cover off. We checked for tap bits. We have also now put oil back in. I've checked like all the belt auxiliaries on the side and stuff like that. I've turned it over with a span on the crank, and I've got a TDC and I've tried pushing it down with a screwdriver, see if I get a knock. I can't identify that. Done a boroscope, piston's wet and dry now. Check the plugs. Hold on, one of the boys are calling me, I'll be back now. So yeah, that takes me on to another point. So if I was Palmer on the phone, one of the boys, so many people have reached out to me. Like I said, Kev, MRM has been supportive. Dave Pritchard from DP Motorsport has been really supportive. Palmer, my friend, James, literally been on a blower like that, constantly back and forth messaging. Dan DeMello, just people in the car scene, people where I know have been really helpful and really supportive. So big shout out and thank you so much for that. So look, the only other thing can be is drop the sump down and look for maybe if rods are moving, or if a bearing, big end bearing is spun now, or we're going to take our end caps off anyway, I think, and we'll put them back on with plastic dip, a plastic gauge, sorry, and then obviously measure them, see where we are with that. If you don't know how it works, obviously you've got the piston, you've got the small end bearing, you've got the connecting rod, which is the Siemens forged rod, and then you obviously got the big ends, which we had King's big end bearings. I put a picture up now of obviously what the process, what it is and what it looks like, so just so you understand. Obviously when you turn the engine over and it's under load and you get the ignition, that's what causes a bit of a bang bang like that, do you know what I mean? When I'm turning the engine over, obviously with no plugs in or anything, it just turns over nice and free, but again, it's not under any load. A few people have said to put the car up in the air, both wheels, and gently obviously like let the wheels turn with the engine running, maybe like press the brake a little bit, see what it's like if you get a knock underneath there, or if you put it in the first, and then obviously like kind of like pull off if you get a knock or anything like that when the car's running. I feel like obviously like for things that people do, I don't know, something is telling me. I'm going to play the video again for you now. Sounds really top endy, as if the hydraulic tappets have just not got the oil in them or something, or one of them's failed or something, and it's just that grrr noise, do you know what I mean? But I don't know, everybody, what's your thoughts? I think what I'll do is I'll end the video here and do a new video for when James does come up, and then obviously get that sump off and do a bit more diagnostics, maybe take that rocker cover back off, get some rags in the engine bay and turn it over to see if the buckets or the lifters are moving and the cam lobes and all that kind of stuff, see if it makes any noise through there, see if anything just stands out, do you know what I mean, with the plugs out and stuff like that now, do you know what I mean, just so we can hear that noise under the rocker. We can't obviously run it with no rocker cover, but yeah, anyway, look, I've got loads of views on the last video. I've had like 3,500 already, and it's been up 2 days. That's good for me. And look, every cloud has a silver lining. That's content for me. It's growing the channel. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't end here. It's going to get fixed. It's going to be a 354 on a break one day. Do you know what I mean? So it might have been before it died. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. We'll get there. The good thing is it's got compression. Okay, so head's good. Anyhow, until next time. Thanks for watching.